crazy, dude. Ed, pick up. Oh shit! Wait, it's time for the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time. Oh my god. Thank you, Habib. Beautiful messages. Thank you. Oh, hello? Habib? Are you there?
I think so. You make it sound like you can't hear me.
Well, I can't hear you. Okay, wait a second. I will turn on my cam. Hello? Wait, I can't hear you.
God, Ed.
Oh my god, it's like a 3-second delay, dude.
Wait, what?
It's literally a 3-second delay, dude. Wait, hold on, I'm gonna try rejoining. Hello?
Hello?
Okay, it's fixed now. Now let me turn on my camera.
Okay.
All right, are we good?
All right. I don't see your camera. Oh, I see your camera.
Okay, yeah, this is delay again. Okay. Oh shit. Hold on, could you try rejoining? I think that'd be huge.
Yeah. Okay, one sec.
Which camera did I use? This one? Yes, it is. Let's go. All right, nation. What's poppin', dudes? So welcome to our Scuffed podcast. I'm gonna get rid of this fucking keyboard now. Hello? Hello? I can hear you.
Okay, good. For
good.
Now,
awesome.
Okay, good. Awesome. Yeah, maybe it was my end.
Awesome. I think like whenever I turn on my camera, for some reason Discord like dies.
Oh.
So like.
Okay,
yeah,
we're good. We're good now.
Yeah, we should be good. I have like 4 keyboards next to me now.
Let me pull up the chats.
It's insane. Oh. Change category? I mean, we can keep it in the OC category. It's fine.
I think it's better in the OC category because who's going to join from other categories?
Who the hell wants to listen to the Blanket podcast where we talk about OSU shit?
Like what? What do we talk about?
I don't know. We were talking about keyboards earlier in my stream today.
Oh.
We were testing out different keyboards. We were like, I was talking about how like, you know, keyboards are pretty awesome. All right, but like there's been a stigma where you need to get a good keyboard if you want to be good at OSU.
Oh really? What? Since when?
I mean, like I see like YouTubers, specifically when I watch like people saying like, yo, top 10 tips to get better at OSU, right?
Oh,
they're like, buy a mechanical keyboard, and I'm like,
we really need like someone who's like, I don't know. We need like a very experienced player to.
I want to do it.
Videos. Yeah, let's just make one.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the top 10 tips on how you, that's right, you can get better at OSU. Here's what you do. Step number 1.
Podcast.
Habib, what? Did you just say shower? Wait, I mean, technically speaking, yeah, maybe?
Well...
Okay. Alright.
Oh, wait. My chat said they can't hear you.
What?
Wait.
Well, let me try turning myself up.
No.
Is this like, better?
Literally, no. Now you're louder, but it's literally my desktop audio isn't working on OBS. Wait, what? I just went to the properties and now it's working.
What?
Interesting.
I'll tell you something right now. I need to shower because I woke up literally 30 minutes before I started my stream.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, while you set things up, I am going to rinse this cup so it doesn't stink.
Okay, sounds good.
Peace.
Step 1 is to shower yourself, and step 2 is to shower your cup. Okay, I'm pulling up the chats on my stream overlay. Except it's not letting me window capture both chats because the window names are the exact same. Do I have topics prepared, or am I winging it? Or are we winging it? If I said we had topics prepared, would you even believe me? You ready? No. That's the whole point. Or at least I thought. Why not? Good question. There was some sort of reason where I was like, I don't want to prepare like topics to talk about. I think it's because like then if we wanted to talk about something else, we would feel bad because it's not on our list. That sort of thing. Alright, so now I have 2 window captures of the same chat. How do I fix it? The phone piece should be facing his mouth. Oh, really? Wait, I don't know. Hold on. Oh, the cable is not long enough. Like, this cable is like... It's gonna break if I put it any higher. How do I not capture the same window twice? Ed, I'm calling out Mayday. Please help. Fix my overlay.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, judge and jury, passengers and bystanders, spectators and I don't know what else.
Participants alike.
But Bubbleman and Koi Fish.
What is the opposite of spectator?
Videos on
right?
how to get better at OSU.
Wait, Lizard, are you serious?
Recommend them.
Hold on. Yo, Habib, someone just donated saying that Koi Fish and Bubbleman have made... Okay, so I've seen Bubbleman's videos, right? But Koi Fish, I haven't seen his, like, how to get better at OSU video.
I kind of want to watch it right now, but we're supposed to start this podcast.
I mean, we could, like, watch it and, like, discuss it.
We could. Do you want to do that?
We could.
I'm down. I'm actually down.
The only problem would be, how would we, like, get our overlays to, like...
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we could each use our own, like, overlay while we watch it. We just sync it up together, and then we'll just talk about it.
We could use one of those websites.
Watchtogether.com?
We watch together. What's the one called, like, 27? Is that what it's called? 27.xyz. I kind of like that one more.
I've never heard of that website.
Oh,
but it sounds awesome.
Okay, I think chat... Why doesn't chat work? I can't window capture both your chat and my chat.
That's weird. Do you use CapChat?
No, I'm literally just using window capture of the Twitch chat pop-out.
Bro.
But I did this last time and it was fine.
Bro! So you have to set this up every single time you launch?
Well, it's only the second time.
Here, let me just send you the link.
I put it... Okay.
Let me just send you the link to both of our CapChats.
How do you even pop out the chat? You click the little gear on the bottom. And... then there's pop-out chat.
This is your chat. This is my chat.
Okay, thank you. Did you send it on Discord?
Yes.
Okay, I will hide that. Wait, does it matter if I hide the link?
You don't need to hide it. What's someone gonna do with a preview of your chat?
I know the Streamlabs link you're supposed to hide.
Oh. Well, I guess Streamlabs is fucking weird.
Okay, wait, I'm gonna hide Discord anyway. Alright, let's go.
Yo, I wonder. Chat. Alright, so here's the thing. Over the weekend, while I was at Beta's place, I had a pimple grow underneath my fucking hair for some reason. It's like right on my forehead, and I wonder if it's still there. Oh no!
Ed's dirty secrets.
There's a reason why I flip my hair this way. I'm just saying, dude.
True. So do you want to start the podcast by watching one of those videos? Would Quayfish be okay with us
Yeah.
doing that? Okay.
I mean, I didn't ask him, but like,
Oh.
I do it all the time anyway.
Okay. Ed?
He hasn't gotten angry at me yet. DMCA? He'll be fine.
It'll be okay. But I'm really interested. I mean, I'm gonna pause it often probably.
Yo, chat,
to-
what video is it? All right, so let's start. Do you have a specific video? Because if it's about like the OSU coaching thing, then like that's different. I'm trying to think of like top 10 tips on how to get better at OSU. Because like when I watch a video like that, I don't want it to be restricted behind a paywall. You know?
Ed wants it to stay in the OSU category. That's the only reason we're doing this. No, we would stay in the OSU category no matter what. For this.
Yeah, we're sticking in the OSU category. This is fine, dude. We're talking about OSU related shit, dude. It's kind of like with Holy P when he does his OSU podcast, all right? He sticks it in the OSU category too. It's relevant. I'm not sure which video of his it was, but it had a video in that same vein. All right, then let's talk. Let's dedicate this podcast right here on tips on how to get better at the OS. Pretty awesome.
Sounds good.
Let's go, dude. Let's go. We did it. I mean, so like the thing is, the biggest criticism I have, because this is at least in the past, back in like 2017, 2016, around those videos I've seen, and like almost every time like I try to like search up a video about like how to get better,
Yeah.
most of the videos I've seen are by like 6 and 5 digits. Not to discredit, well, like it's just to give like a sort of idea in your head.
Kind of to discredit, but not to discredit.
But like
Is
rank
that what you're
doesn't
saying?
entirely matter, but you kind of yes, right?
Yeah.
And
I feel like you should have some sort of credentials to show that you've improved.
exactly.
And
When you're talking about like convincing someone, the art of communication, there's like pathos, logos, and ethos, right?
yep. Pathos.
My brain just froze.
It's like you need ethos.
No. It is.
Is it? Or is it not ethos? I don't even remember.
Logos appeals to logic,
It's
which
one
is
of
common
them.
sense if it
You
makes
need
sense. So it
credentials.
is ethos, and pathos appeals to emotions. Bros, we're digging all the way back to fucking middle school, advanced English. Oh my god. All right, bros, here's the deal. All right. Ethos, the appeal to authority. That's what it is. All right. The authoritative mode of conversation, how you convince another person to adopt your ideals. All right. That is given based off of profession, experience, all right, that sort of stuff. And when you're like slightly new to the game and you're around the 5 to 6 digit mark, I mean, yes, you do have a bit of experience. Someone who's brand new to the game might want to, they could turn towards them and still get something out of it, right? But the thing is, all right, they can't really go as deep. You know, they can put you on the right path. I mean, even a 6 digit can tell a new guy to say just play more.
I think the thing with like beginner videos, from what I've seen, is that some of them try to like skip over stuff that they feel is not important for new players.
Right.
Like, don't worry about this sort of thing.
Right.
But at least if I was a new player watching that video, I would feel like, what's the word? Like, discredited of my own ability to comprehend things.
What?
Does that make sense?
Wait, discredited as in like...
As in like you don't think I'm bright enough to understand it yet.
Oh.
And you're just telling me like don't even worry about it because you're a new player. You're not gonna understand. That's
Right, you're brushed off like, oh, you're one of those new guys. Yeah, don't worry
it's
about
like,
this.
yeah,
So
you'll
just do
figure
this
it out
and this
later.
and
Yeah.
this and this. Right? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of guilty of that as well. Because like when newer players come into my stream, because okay, I guess it's different when it's in the video sense, but like in my context, I'm doing a live stream where like this question gets asked over and over again, and in order to like go into more details, it takes up more time, and I'd rather just be like, you know, doing my stream rather than explaining the same thing over and over and over and over again, which is why I just go to play more, because it's all encompassing, 2 words. It's even an emote in my channel. It's like, dude. But when you're making a video for the purpose of informing the public, all right, I feel like it is kind of like in your duty, or is this part of your due diligence to at least go into more detail and give the reasons and explanations why a tip should be as good as, or why it has validation, or why it can help you, why it does the things it do, right? Otherwise, you'll just see those like 2010 videos with notepads where they're like, how to get better at doing, how to install Sony Vegas. Step 1, download this sketchy link. Step 2, disable your malware. Step 3, etc. You know what I'm saying?
The thing with those videos, it's like it takes 1 minute for them to type hi guys, and then the next minute is them deleting it.
Yes. Oh, we don't see videos like that anymore, dude. It's sad.
Yeah, so sad. And it's like, hi guys, welcome to my channel. Like and subscribe, and now you're already 5 minutes into the video.
Exactly. Oh,
good times.
Goodness.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
I mean, there's some people in my channel who probably don't know about them. Unfortunate. anyways, all right. So like, if we were to actually get down into like tips and tricks, all right.
Okay.
How would you organize something like that? Because I feel like, all right, so when you do talk about tips and tricks, like I guess ideally you would want them in an overall sense, where like any sort of tips, especially from a top player's perspective, would be able to create tips and tricks that would benefit literally anyone who watches them, who could learn something new, you know, unless they're also like a super top player. But like,
yeah.
It was a good run, less than 3.
I think a good trick, not really trick, but like something you can teach people to do is how to actually watch your own replay. Because we've talked in the past, like, you should watch your own replay. When you fail, look at what you did. But then it's like, how do I look at what I did? Like, and that's also the sort of thing that like a lot of top players who would try to make videos like these, they don't understand the knowledge gap that there actually is. Like, there's things you actually have to explain to people, because even though you've understood these concepts for so long, like, you've known exactly how to watch a replay, and you know that you can't like jump to a point in the replay, which you'll be able to do in laser replay. That sort of thing. It's like you have to explain how it actually works so that people know. It's not just like, okay, just watch your replay and figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, like, that does go... Alright, so this is going down a deeper rabbit hole, but it's because of that sort of explanation and that extra stuff. Like, it's so much easier, I think, for people to just, like, dissect it into even more tips to kind of, like, drag out the content in a way. Because, like...
You mean they're trying to reach the 10-minute mark is all?
Well, not exactly that, but, like... How I would see a good tips and tricks channel is something like... Lemino. Do you know that guy?
No.
Lemino? Alright, so this guy used to be called Top 10 Memes, alright? But he switched his name to become more serious and stuff. But he does top 10 videos, but they're more than just a top 10 list. He actually go into...
Hey, wait, what's up?
Evan called, he said that the ACD... Oh, yeah, sure.
Say hi.
Hi.
That's my sister.
Oh, what's poppin'? Hello.
Hi.
Yes, yeah.
Anyways,
Dude, wait, you see this fan? This is not enough when your AC is broken.
dude, yo, top
Dude,
10 tricks,
dude,
dude. If you want to play Osu better, get an AC.
Actually, don't have broken AC. I fell asleep at like 7 a.m. yesterday.
Dude,
I
I
really
know how
couldn't
it
sleep.
is.
It's so sad, but yeah, my sister is just telling me like, AC person is coming in an hour, but we'll be done by then.
Yeah, we'll be done by then. It's all good. All right. So, anyways, yes, I was talking about Lemino. So this Lemino guy is a guy who makes top 10 videos, but he really goes into depth about every single part of his list, right? Number 1, 2, 3, and 4. They're not just like a list of like, hey, this is what it is, this is what it does, etc., etc. But he's kind of like a sort of internet historian where he really dives into each and every single
Like tells the story of each one.
Exactly. And in
really
a
cool.
way, that's what I like to see from other content creators. But the thing is, there are very few people who will go out of their way to create content like that because it goes against the YouTube algorithm. The YouTube algorithm wants mediocre content that is enjoyable but is more frequent. And people who play towards that algorithm don't have enough time to really do that sort of research to make those sorts of videos, right? And also, it's like, even if you do go through the effort to make that content, if it doesn't blow up, then what's the point, right? You can spend all the effort in the world to make an amazing video, an amazing top 10 video, but if it doesn't gain traction, then all your time is wasted, basically.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I think yesterday I was watching a documentary. Do you know a YouTuber named Jibe99?
Jibe? Nope.
Yeah, he's in the League community, and so he used to just be like a sort of casual League content creator on YouTube, like, and nowadays he does like a lot of really high-end documentaries about stuff in the League community, like League tournaments, like stories about tournament teams. But like, if you look at his most popular videos, like his videos from like 4 years ago, like random, like, oh my god, I just opened a crate in the game, like look at what I got, sort of like, like a low end production like value compared to like an actual hour-long, like hour-and-a-half long documentary.
Exactly. So going with that, with that topic, this is just the overall meta of YouTube, right? So what I'm trying to basically put together is that, yes, ideally in my head, the ideal content that I myself would like to take on is to create content where it does go in depth and be super informative and super helpful. But what I'm afraid about is that because it doesn't meet towards the algorithm standards, which honestly I'm still not. I haven't been uploading recently, so like I'm already falling to the algorithm. But I don't know. I just don't think making that sort of that content is even worth that at this point.
Well, I don't know. I think the ideal standard for YouTube content would be like summoning salt.
Summoning salt?
Wait, what?
What?
Oh no.
I don't know that guy.
He is like speedrun history documentary creator. Like basically goes like super in depth about like the story behind a game and its like speedrunning history. There's a lot of oh, did you watch the Vaxay video?
Yes.
Yeah, it's inspired by summoning salt.
Oh, I see. So he makes that type of content. Okay, that's awesome. So there are people who still do it. Okay. Yeah. So where could we go down with this topic though? Let's actually get back to let's rewind back to the actual tips and stuff themselves, because I was about to go down the whole rabbit hole of like what type of content would actually work on YouTube and like the theory of YouTube and like all this other stuff.
Maybe we talk about it at the end.
Maybe. Yeah, sure. Let's actually talk about actual like tips and tricks though, because I will say, all right, the biggest criticism, like I said before, is that I hate how most existing videos that I've seen in the past, all right, I'm not sure about most modern content. I don't really watch OWC content too much outside of Koi Fish because like my standards for quality is just so high. Whenever I see a low quality video, I just cringe and die. This is why I can't watch my old videos anymore, dude. It's so bad. Anyways, but a lot of them just point towards buying better stuff, and I just hate the idea of someone going in to watch a video and being told that they have to buy stuff to get better.
That's true. There's no paywall with OWC.
Exactly. OWC is a game that's built off of just being free to play and free to win. Outside, well, all right, if you want to be one of the top, I'm sorry, bros. There are some things that you probably should get, but when it
Don't need
comes
to.
yes, you don't technically need to, but I'll tell you something right now. It's kind of like getting to the other side of the of like crossing the ocean with either just a boat or like
Swimming.
yeah. Anyways, it does have merit to it, but I feel like if I were to come up with like my own tips and tricks just off of the bat, let's see. You said you mentioned a good one, which is replay analysis, right? But understanding of just core concepts of the game, of just certain data points, because when you focus on various skills in the game, a lot of the things that you do focus on are core things like approach rate, overall difficulty, what's it called, HP doesn't really matter too much, but it does play into specific maps. But anyway, stuff like that, just definitions of the game. Definitions of the game are extremely important, but a lot of people just disregard them because they're boring, right?
That's true. But then would you explain definitions and then call that tips and tricks, or would you just, I mean, there's two separate things, explaining terms and actual tips and tricks.
Well, like that sort of stuff needs to be built into it, you know. If I were to create like the ideal content, content, I would explain why it's important to understand what it is and give examples to help give people an extra understanding, because it's more than just like this is the approach rate. It judges how fast it is, how fast you need to be, or how fast it closes in, right? It's as simple as that. But if you really go in depth with it, it's more than just that, because you have different approach rates for different skills sets when you're just coming into the game. Anything lower than approach rate 5 or something is probably good for you. All right, so if you're just getting started, you'll probably want to stick around that range, and you don't want to go above it until you really mastered all the patterns around that area. Then when you start moving up, it gives you a sense of progression just based off of approach rate alone, that okay, once you start getting used to the game, approach rate 8 is where you start actually like getting into the meat and grinds of maps in the OWC community. And once you hit approach rate 9, AR9 is like
a big wall, I think.
Hell yeah, dude. There's so many maps in AR9, dude. That's where I actually like started picking up. And once you hit AR10, you're like, woo, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, do you see how I took something, how I started with a definition, went into like a sort of like timeline, into like progression, into like diving deep into it, how approach rate, just understanding that can not only give you a sense of progression, which you do need to understand. Like one of the fastest ways to improve is by having a sort of time scale, a sort, I guess, a feedback. No, what is it? You need to have goals, right? Goals in OSU. Goals in order to measure your progress, and I feel like approach rate could be one of those things to help measure that. It's a bit of a stretch, but this is just the first thing that came into my head. So
yeah, but then that sounds like it would be like 2 separate videos. That ideally, if you're making like 10 tips and tricks, or even like multiple tips and tricks, and then you're also trying to explain each concept, like go through the whole thing, I feel like it's better to first make a video explaining concepts, and then you can refer to that video in your tips and tricks video, so that you keep your tips and tricks video focused on.
Now you're diving into a network. Oh shit, this is deep stuff, right? Yes. So ideally, like a YouTube channel would like go through that effort.
But
we're working on it. I swear on it, dude.
Okay.
Anyways, what other stuff could we talk about? All right, let's dive deeper into replay analysis. What would you say goes into replay analysis that you think other players, at least not in the top level, would immediately catch?
So I think there's like multiple layers. I don't really know the number, but it's like you have to first like go to the part where you messed up. Let's say you were assessing and then you like missed a note or something, or like messed up a pattern and you just couldn't tell. So I think the thing is that like you have to realize when you should watch the replay and when you can just be like, okay, that's what I did, just from playing the map.
Oh, okay.
Like sometimes it's not worth your time to watch the replay. Like if you started under streaming, or like you started finger locking, or like you just ran out of stamina on a stream, you don't have to watch the replay. You already know what you did wrong. The point of watching a replay is to see what you did wrong so you can fix it in the next run.
Exactly. Understanding why you made a mistake, because if you don't understand why you make a mistake, you can't fix it.
Yeah.
Precisely.
So let's say it's just like a jump that let's say, because people get mind blocked. We can talk about mind block later, but let's say there's the same jump that you just keep missing the same exact note, and you're like, why do I keep missing? So you could just keep playing the map and just try to RNG it, and then just mind block yourself. Because the thing with mind block is that Okay, I'll explain it simply. It's not that you can't play that pattern anymore. It's
I'm listening.
okay. It's not that you can't play the pattern anymore. It's that you stop reading the pattern. It's basically what mind block is. What happens with mind block is that you get so used to not playing a pattern correctly that every time the pattern comes up, you just shut your brain off. Right. You just stop reading everything, and you're like, "This is the pattern I never hit. I can do this."
And it gets sealed into your brain, and then like so there's also like your muscle memory that's involved, that you're just so used to making that sort of movement, the same movement where you make a mistake, things like that.
The more comfortable you are with like a specific map, like the less you read it. Because when you're sight reading, you obviously have to read the map and like. But then once you figure out how the map goes, then you just kind of stop paying as much attention. Like if you've played a map 100 times, you don't have to think about like what pattern is going to come next, that sort of thing. Like when you play the Big Black, you know that section with like streams of 8, like the side of streams that go up and down. Like you don't have to count it in your head because you already know it's 8 notes long. Unless you don't know that it's 8 notes long and you just mash it.
Okay. All right, you kind of lost me, but to bring this back, like I'd like to bring it back because I really want to focus on like tips and tricks, how someone would actually make stuff like that. Because the first thing that I think of when it comes to replay analysis is like a big trick that you could do, a big tip. All right, it's on Cutting Edge with its ability to use numbers 5 through 0 to adjust the speed of a replay. Right? Oh, that's a huge one to like save time, because what if you miss right at the end of like a 5-minute long map? You don't want to watch the entire 5-minute long map. I mean, ideally, best case scenario is that you're always recording while you're like playing. That way, whenever you make a mistake, you can just stop the recording, instantly watch it, and you overcome Osu's problem of not being able to scrub through your replay, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people are lazy, and
actually, good point, because nowadays, whenever I mess up, I like clip my own stream. Like even if you have like no one to watch your streams, I think it's good to just live stream.
Live stream for improvement. There you go. That's a big one.
It's just more efficient because you can make a clip of your miss or like whatever you messed up on. Then you don't have to watch the replay. Like in the game, you don't have to watch the replay. But so you watch the replay, and so you have to figure out what it actually means that you keep messing that thing up. So let's say you've done this 10 times now on like 10 different maps, and you're noticing like the same problem every time. You can't figure out what you did wrong, and then you watch, and it's like your cursor was on the note, but then you left it before you clicked. You see what I mean? Like you start noticing a pattern of all your mistakes. So you have to, like, over time you'll notice something that you keep doing wrong, and then you think, okay, what should I actually do to fix that specific issue? Because your accuracy isn't off and your aim isn't off, because it's quick to it's easy to just think that your aim needs work if you keep misaiming in that way, or like you keep missing jumps in that way, but your aim was actually fine. You see what I mean? Like you play a star jump and your cursor goes over every note, but you were tapping everything late,
right? So
it's not about your aim, it's about your tapping being in sync with your aim.
All right, and this is shit, dude. This
is
why
sort of stuff that like you have to be able to analyze in your own replay.
Yes. All right, so here's another problem. Okay, we're just diving deeper and deeper into different topics, which I think is a pretty bad thing. But just to like point out a specific problem, and the reason why I think it's so hard to do stuff like this is because like there are two types of players, I guess. People who are tapping dominant and people who are aim dominant, right? If you are aim dominant, you always make sure that your cursor at least goes over the cursor, over the hit circle. All right, and then everything else is up to your tapping. So you always imply when you look at it, when you look at a map, that you tapped late or you tapped early, right? Other people are rhythm dominant. They always know they're always tapping on time. All right, so if they miss something, it's because they didn't aim it fast enough, or they aimed it too slow, or something like that, right? So that's sort of dominance. You could say it's either way. You know what I'm saying? You could say either, oh, you tap late, or you just aim too early. You know?
Oh, I see.
So that's why it could get a little bit more complex. That's why this is why tips and tricks good tips and tricks videos are so hard to do because I'll tell you something right now. If we were to edit this video into a tips and tricks video, half of the people would fall asleep. All right, discussing super in-depth concepts like this without any sort of like animations, without any sort of like actual thing to help people understand the concept, it's so much harder, right? People are just looking for easy to digest, easy to consume, and easy to understand tips and tricks, you know? Replay analysis, numbers 5 through 0, find what you did wrong and fix it, right?
If you get good visuals, then it can't be that hard to understand.
Oh yeah,
I mean, we understand it. So.
We understand it because we're top players, but to a newer player, they're like, oh, you tap late when you over aimed and you did this and this and this and this, and the other dude's like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, I don't know. That goes back to the thing with like, I guess underestimating new players and like their abilities to use their brain. You know? I suppose.
I mean, even top players sometimes can't use their brain, so it's not about how good you are at OSU. It doesn't correlate to how much you can use your brain.
I guess then this is the difference then, all right? Because are you trying to make a tips and tricks video, or it's a balance between entertainment and information, right? Finding the right balance where people are both entertained and informed is extremely hard to do. On one far region, there's like the tips and tricks who just fires out tips and tricks that are super common sense, easy to digest. All right, they can get through so many, and everyone just eats it all up, right? But they don't actually learn anything.
The thing with like super common sense tips and tricks videos is that like I never sit through them. Like I just like. Well,
maybe not for you, but I tell you something right now. Those tips and tricks videos I watched back in 2017 have literally hundreds of thousands of views. Yeah, sometimes even millions.
It's so interesting.
But the thing is, I'll tell you, if you take a look at the opposite side, Bubbleman's videos, all right? I haven't checked up on them in a while. I can do that real quick, but like...
The OSU gameplay videos?
Yeah. OSU gameplay tutorial videos where he went in depth, all right? Where it's literally Pishy Fat styled, right? Yeah. They get like they get like 10,000, 20,000 views, which is insanely good, all right? Especially for a channel that had like almost no unique content before is amazing. All right, you could judge that based off of like exposure from Reddit because he always cross posted it and it would be on like the top of OSU game and stuff. But in terms of actual like raw exposure from the algorithm where people were like, this is interesting, let me click on that. All right, it's very small compared to everything else. Right, and finding the right balance so where you have information and entertainment, easy to digest entertainment together to make that one video that pops off where people actually get something from it, because that's our goal. Our goal is that we want to help people get better at the game, right? And in order to do that, we need high information stuff because we can actually understand it and we can help bring that to the general public. The only issue is that to do that in a way that's also entertaining, that people will actually watch, that can actually blow up and get millions of views, that can be recommended to everyone as like, hey, watch this video if you want to get better, because people have been using Bubbleman's videos like that, but it still doesn't get as much exposure because it's literally just textbook style reading from a book lecture. You know, this is how you get better. People are just gonna fall asleep. So yeah, that's my issue. I want to be that guy who creates that content that's both entertaining and informative, right? I've always wanted to do it, but it's so hard finding that balance.
That's true. Though, I was gonna go somewhere with that.
Hold on, this one dude from my chat says, I don't think Digital Hypno cares about the millions of views. And honestly, I don't think you do as much either, right? But the goal is to help as many people as possible.
Yeah, it's less about like, oh, I got 1 million views, like YouTube money, let's go. It's more about like
efficiency,
like how, because you're making the video trying to have it be like the #1 like resource that people like. I don't know. I just think of like certain language communities. I know I'm talking like I'm referring to language again, but it's like you look up how to study a certain language, and there's just one resource that like that it's recommended on every, because you know like, top 10 resources. Yeah.
Duolingo.
Exactly. Those are the names that come to mind, and like you don't even study languages. Like that's the sort of thing that's like you already know about that stuff.
Right.
Like
It's kind of like when you
the
think
sort
of
thing.
a skin and you think Garen's Eugen. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to create a resource that's going to be like instantaneous, pop into the mind. All right, tips and tricks. That's this guy. All right, the Osu coach or some shit like that. You know,
you want your content to become so that if you ask an experienced player or like your friend who just plays Osu, like, what's a good video to get into it, and they like just mindlessly be like, watch this video.
Exactly. But the thing is, all right, people, if you want to be that guy, you have to find that balance. I always wanted to be that guy, but I still struggle with finding that balance, and that's one of the main issues. There's other of both entertainment and information.
Yeah, okay, I see.
Because all right, honestly, like if you want to be a guy that can teach the concepts, you have to understand them fully yourself, right? But
true.
like even myself, who's the top player, doesn't completely understand everything. That's why I still like having these conversations with you, just to have like that sort of like, okay, am I really getting this? Because I had a huge misconception with alternating for the longest time, which Apraxia helped me, right?
Wait, what was it?
Which is like newer players always start with alternating, and I'm saying how that's a bad thing because like, oh, they're just playing 1-2 jumps and they're hindering themselves, but the actual problem isn't alternating, it's the type of maps that they play. That's what I learned from talking with Apraxia, and I think that's important because I had a misconception. I'm a top player, and I've been spreading that to my audience for the longest time.
Oh my gosh.
You know?
Dude, like when I started playing, I had my tablet on my lap and I tapped with the space bar. I literally only used one key. So I didn't have desk space for like my monitor because I played on like the end of a table.
Right.
So I didn't have desk space to put my tablet on the side. So it was like my monitor and then my keyboard.
Like all in one vertical column?
Yeah. Like, you know, like your desk is like you have space next to you.
Yeah.
But I was on the other side of the desk because I shared a table with my brother.
Oh my god! Wait. I'm about to bust out the paint.net. Wait.
Okay.
Hold on a sec. Guys, everybody's gonna get beat. Alright, so if this was a normal table where the chair is like right here, alright? Chair. Alright, normally you would monitor, keyboard, mouse, alright, arms. Alright? But how you're playing is that it divides it up, so it's like monitor, keyboard, tablet. Like this?
Yeah, like that.
What the fuck, dude? That's insane!
Like that's how I started.
That's actually crazy, dude. The mouse is so fucking big. That the reason why I drew it that big is because of the mouse pad.
Okay,
you have to dedicate.
Is it backwards? Okay, no, it's not.
Nope.
So, MON, that's my monitor, and then my keyboard, and then the X, this was my brother's side of the desk.
Holy fuck, dude! You guys deadass share the desk. That's insane.
So, like, I sat like right here, and so I didn't have space for my tablet, so I just put it on my lap, and then. And then I just tapped at the spacebar because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna need to use both keys eventually, but since I'm just playing like 1-star maps and I don't need that key right now, I was like, by the time I'm playing higher star maps, I'll figure something out. And then I realized, okay, look at this. So, see, there's actually a little gap between our monitors. So I realized I could push my monitor forward. And then push my keyboard forward, and then put my tablet right there.
Oh my god!
So I started playing with. I played with my tablet under my keyboard because I didn't have desk space for anything else.
Yo, Scuff Solutions, that's awesome.
It's actually really comfortable. Like sometimes people come to my stream and they're like, your hand cam looks really comfortable, or like your whole setup. So I don't know. Like I've tried switching to playing with my tablet on the side, but it's like it just doesn't feel.
Oh yeah, I see a lot of people who have their tablet closer to them, and they're just like playing like this.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
Right. I think Rafis has the sort of playstyle like that too. I think. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
But it actually looks kind of uncomfortable to pull your arm.
Yeah, I mean, ergonomically speaking, like the fact that your arm is being pushed back like this is probably kind of bad.
Probably kind of bad.
Yeah, because like ergonomic wise, like you want this motion, right?
Yeah.
You want this. you want this, right? Back straight, elbow at a 90-degree angle, mouse, keyboard. All right, it might be backwards for you guys. I don't know, right?
No, it's
but
all
this
good.
is what you want. I play like this, right?
Oh.
It's still at a relaxed position, so like it's still okay. Comfort over everything, right? As long as you're comfortable, that's all that matters, right? Ideally, it'd be like this, but this is how I play, which is still like close enough, right? Some people play like this with their keyboard tilted, which is like kind of bad, but like yeah.
That's true. Wait, someone mentioned in my chat, like regarding like video series, why don't you just do like tiers, like early, the like new player tier and like mid tier and high, like
because videos in that
complexity.
format never pop off in the YouTube algorithm. Saying beginner style, extra or beginner level, blah 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 blah. War Owl do you guys know War Owl? He's a CS:GO YouTuber who turned variety, who still primarily does CS:GO, but also does other stuff now. He used to make CS:GO tips and tricks videos where he divided everything into different tiers: beginner, intermediate, expert, right? And it just never worked. There are other people who have tried that format as well. It just doesn't work. Dividing it up into different, because how would you define a beginner? How would you define an intermediate dude? How would you define an expert? These are the concepts that people are going to have to understand before they even watch the video, which how the fuck are you going to get them to understand that if they've never watched a single one of your videos? Which
actually,
yeah.
Why don't you just do it all in one video? Like each time you're explaining a topic, you have like a little meter of complexity.
Oh, yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, all right? At the beginning of the video, be like, all right, we're talking about finger control. This is a advanced level tutorial, so if you're a beginner, get out. You know what I'm saying?
It's like while you're explaining finger control, like you start the explanation at like green, like think green is like beginner. Right. And then like yellow.
Oh, wait, you're talking, wait. I'm thinking of a way of like, throughout the video, at the beginning, explain in a simple way, and then get into more and more complex details later and later on for like the... Yeah. Oh, so you're talking about like an all-in-one solution where like all three different tiers are combined. So like if you're new to the game, all you have to focus on making sure that you press the key when you hear the thing, all right? And like you never mash. That's beginner. Intermediate level is like playing more complex maps, keeping in mind the actual rhythm in your head. And then number 3 is when you actually start getting into the meat and bones and start crushing your fucking fingers, experiencing the pain, adapting your body until they finally get strong. Dude, I'll tell you something right now. When I play OWC like this, I don't feel jack shit. But when I play with my middle finger and index finger, people ask me to do this all the time on my stream, right? When I play with middle index, my index finger doesn't feel any pain, but my middle finger literally feels like I feel strain in this area because it's not used to it, right? My middle finger isn't used to the strain of playing OWC. Your body physically adapts to playing this game, dude. There's that physical adaptation that you go through over time as you play this game, dude.
That's actually true, yeah. But I'm thinking like, if you explain, I feel like a lot of this podcast is just us talking about like hypotheticals of a video. Yeah. Now that I think about it, okay, we can talk about that later. But someone said explain the difference between skill cap and like consistent skill. Could playing high stars improve lower star?
It depends.
The way Idkey explains it is like it's just about like how good you are. Like if you're good enough to FC 5 stars, then obviously 4 stars will be even easier for you. As like a general rule. I basically agree with that. That it's just skill, like just how good you are. But there's definitely a difference because there are players who like have a very high skill cap, but then also aren't really that consistent. I think it's about like, your aim skill versus your reading skill. I think your reading is what ties into consistency. If you have low reading skill, but like high aim and
is
tapping.
hosting with 59 viewers.
I'm sorry. Doremi just hosted me. It's Ekoro. Thank you for the host, brother.
Oh.
Podcast.
Yeah, I think consistency is tied into your reading skill. If you've trained your aim and tapping, but not really your reading that much, I think that's what ties into high skill cap, low consistency.
Yo, Habib, do you mind if I step in on this a little bit? I'd like to give my own opinion and see what you think about it, because when I think, based off how he formatted his question, which is what's called the difference between skill cap and consistent skill. All right, so how I see it is that the skill cap is based off of just how like your raw ability, like how fast can you do this many notes, how fast can you move your cursor from this to this, all right, and still like But when it comes to consistency, I feel like the big difference between your like how fast your maximum aim from one place to another, or like how fast you can move your fingers, that's going to be your skill cap, right? Your maximum skill. But when it comes to consistency, it's your ability to thread all of those together and do them at the same time. Because if I were to just focus on streaming, on just stamina, on just like speed and stuff, I can go pretty fucking far, dude. I'll tell you that, right? But when it comes to like doing that while aiming a stream that's moving, and then if you add like some rhythm complexities here and there, I fall apart, all right? And that's when consistency falls apart as well.
So it's about being able to do all of them at once, you say?
Exactly. It's being able to weave them all together in a fashion that you still perform well without making mistakes, but it throws you off because it's not in one of those like it's kind of like the difference between playing a map that's fast, that's hard to play, and then just playing one of those like practice maps. The practice maps themselves are like a benchmark that can measure skill.
Yeah.
But the actual map themselves, if you can't FC it, you're not mastering the consistency for you to actually like perform well enough to play an FC a map. I don't know. That's just my take on it.
Okay. I think that's fair. I think practice diffs, like those long stream practice maps, that's just like a square stream.
Yeah.
Like those sorts of maps, like they're good benchmarks, but they can also help to just isolate stream stamina, like only stream stamina. Because if you want to focus on only stream stamina, you have to isolate it, obviously. So I mean, it's good to play those kinds of maps.
I've had problems, like, this is a big problem that I have, like, with Road to Resistance Hard Rock, right? I know for a fact I have the skill for that map. I just don't have the consistency, because I've hit the... overall, as the map, I've one-missed that map with Hard Rock 3 times. I have a one-miss, alright? I've FC'd the Space Stream section of it I don't know, at least over 10 times, all right, in practice. I know I have the skill to do it, but I just do not have the consistency to do it in a full run. People keep telling me, oh, just keep playing it, you'll get it eventually, which could be the case. But the thing is, I think it's better overall for you to practice and push your overall skill even higher, because when your skill is even higher, playing easier maps, well, you'll be more consistent at it naturally, because as your overall skill becomes higher and higher and higher, stuff that you were used to struggle on, that you used to have to use 110% of your brain in order to play, are now just like
warm up.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So that's why I stopped playing that map. It's one of those points where you just stop learning something, right? And that's why I don't play that map anymore. That's just in my own personal experience, just to tie things together.
Yeah. I think that does tie into like reading. I think reading is such an undervalued thing when it comes to like consistency and actually being able to play a map like every time. Because I mean, while you were training reading, did you notice that like it became easier to do things in less tries?
When it comes to like reading, well, yes. But the reason why isn't because, oh, my reading is now better. Well, I guess you could say it like that. But like when I'm training reading, it's less more of just practice and more from my perspective as discovering a different way to look at the circles. It sounds fucking weird, bro.
No, that's right. That's right.
But yeah, it's like you're looking at it a current way and you're getting that amount of information. But when you just look at it a different way, suddenly you get more information, you're able to hold on to the information you need, and you're able to click it better. It sounds so fucking weird, but I swear this is how I've gotten this is how I've gotten better at AR8 maps. I was just like, all right, dude, I need to be doing something wrong.
That's part of improving your reading, is like reading in a more efficient way, or like grouping patterns in a different way in your head. That's just part of improving reading. So yeah, so if I think we're on the same page, we're just like thinking about it in different ways. Where like improving your reading improves your consistency, because it helps you read in a different way that lets you play more consistently. And then your aim skill cap and stamina skill cap, aim and tapping are more tied towards your actual skill cap, like physical skill cap. And so should we explain what skill cap is? I think skill cap, regarding skill cap is like the cap of your skill. Like how high in difficulty can you really go physically?
Right.
So that's what skill cap means. In case anyone has still been confused, apologies. But so that is skill cap, and then consistency is like being able. I mean, you can look up the definition of consistency if you want.
Yeah.
It's basically the same. Just like being able to do things in like a few amount of tries is like the simple way to put it.
But where I'm bringing my definition in is, let's take for example Meremy, Zealtol, that guy, Speedman. All right, everyone's talking about him now because of his one miss on the Muay Thai or some shit. Yeah, Meremy, that guy. Marami? I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's okay, Ed. It's okay.
But anyways, all right, this guy, one miss, everyone's talking about him now. But he just recently posted on Twitter of him hitting a 400 BPM stream. 400, all right? And it's pretty legit, dude, all right? It wasn't that his hits were slowly falling off. It was like 7 notes or some shit. 400 BPM stream that he actually hit.
That sounds like a burst. But that's...
okay, you could argue definitions at this point, all right? Anyways, that is what I would call a skill, like a skill cap, skill ceiling sort of thing.
It was. I think you're thinking of Destiny's clip. That's what I was thinking of too, because I saw Destiny's clip.
Wait, that was Destiny? I thought that was Yittle. Oh well,
but
whatever.
Anyway,
but that's what. Okay, so a man who hits a 400 BPM stream. All right, that is what would be a score, sort of skill ceiling, skill cap, whatever, you know. But consistency gets to the point where can you play 400 BPM maps? If you cannot play 400 BPM maps, you do not have the consistency for it. You can be that guy to be like, oh, I can stream 400 BPM because I hit this one clip. It's different, you know.
Well, it was kind of in the middle of a 400 BPM map, though. It's like, it's less about like, can you actually play a 400 BPM map if you can hit this burst? It's more of like, can you do it every play session? Yeah, sort of thing. I think that's more, because like you can have like your best like session ever, and like you know what I mean by best session, like you get 3 top plays and you're like, holy crap.
It's been a long time since that happened.
Like if you have those same maps in a tournament and like you just have to play those maps like at a scheduled time, like your best sessions aren't scheduled. You just kind of like get on.
Yeah, all right, that's what ticks me off the most. There are people in my chat who'll come around and be like, yo, dude, when you setting that 1,000 PP play, brother, I want to be there for it, dude. When are you doing it, man? And I'm just like, I will set it tomorrow at 6 o'clock p.m. Friday night. Let's go. And I'm just like, dude, you understand the point, bro? I don't fucking schedule my plays. What do you think this is? Scripted content, bro? It just happens, man. Well, dude.
All of Ed's live streams are actually reruns.
It's true, and you guys are all fools for believing it. All right, understand that I'm not reading chat at all. It looks like I'm doing it, but I'll tell you something right now. This is all scripted, dude. Oh, this is pre-run. I'm still at Bailey's place. Fuck you guys.
Okay, I'm good.
Anyways, that was the topic of consistency and skill cap. We went down a very long rabbit hole.
Very true.
I'm not gonna lie, the topic of like tips and tricks is like now boring. Anything else you want to talk about? We could take like stuff from the chat.
Yeah, it's been an hour.
True.
Well, kind of. We didn't really start at the hour, but it's been an hour.
It's close enough. I know there was someone early in chat who mentioned about OWC, all right, our discussions about it. But the thing is, I don't really know what to discuss about OWC since it hasn't even started yet, you know?
True.
I mean, like, I think it's pretty obvious that Germany is going to be pretty awesome this year, or probably more awesome this year. Now that Whitecat's joining the mix, there was a little bit of confusion going on. I've seen in chats before because people are saying, "Oh, he still has a tournament ban." But from what I understand, his tournament ban will be lifted by the time OWC comes around, so he will be able to compete. Do you know if that's accurate?
Yeah, Whitecat can play. Yeah, he should be able to play.
Oh, well, there you go. It's confirmed. Whitecat is in.
You can't be banned 2 years in a row.
Oh.
Like the cooldown doesn't last over 2 OWCs. Like he was screened out of last OWC, so he should be fine.
Oh, I see. Oh, Skill is saying OWC is being pushed back 2 weeks and Morgan can't play, so UK is dead. I mean,
Wait,
UK is still pretty strong, but
they can't push OWC back, like as in delay OWC. They can't do that.
they can't.
No, because then it runs over Christmas and New Year's.
Shit.
Grand finals is always like the week. Oh, earlier.
Oh, it's earlier. Oh shit. Damn, that's big brain, dude. I didn't realize they actually like schedule OWC right around New Year's and Christmas. That's insane. Morgan got unbanned during signups, so that's why you can't play. That's terrible. Oh. All right, if we're still going to talk about OWC, this dude from chat was talking about like Vaxay. All right, because all right, let's talk about USA specifically. All right, because you and I, all right, United States of
USA.
America. All right, so we've heard from a lot of players that they will be exiting the OWC roster. All right, namely Vaxay, Idkey, I think AirU as well, maybe Toy, lots of people leaving. Right. What do you think is going to happen? Because for me personally, I've seen like the USA players. All right, Fancy Lad is probably one of the biggest boys coming in hot this year. All right, who's probably going to help out a lot.
And we were talking about Fancy Lad during last OWC tryouts.
Oh,
I think it was just like a voice call where Toy and Apraxia were mentioning that like, or was it on Apraxia's stream? But they were just saying that like Fancy Lad has just been improving, and like he wasn't there yet, but like we could all tell he was gonna get there, that sort of thing, you know?
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, so that's
Proud
like
of the boy.
Yeah, something we've been looking at, and I don't know, he's delivering. So
But what do you think about like
the people that are staying versus leaving?
Well, it's more about the strength of USA's OWC team, because it's pretty apparent that like there were some pretty big MVPs of last year, namely Idkey and Vaxay, and those two MVPs now like exiting the OWC like cycle. Do you feel OWC? Do you feel that USA will be hindered significantly by that? Do you feel like those are holes that we can't fill?
No. The thing with OWC, at least for USA, so the thing is that like even if someone is like completely not on the team or like doesn't really get considered during tryouts, even those players can get similar scores. Like just because the name isn't Idkey or Vaxay, it doesn't mean that they can't pull the same numbers or similar numbers. Like even if like I don't know, some like niche reading player probably could score higher than like half the roster if that's their only skill set on the AR8 hidden, that sort of thing. So like you don't have to be like one of those names to be able to set similar scores. Like there's players who can fill those slots and get those scores too. Like just because they weren't on the team doesn't mean that they weren't as good as anyone on the team. So
you're saying that there are other people who can basically back up these players, even though they didn't make the team, all right? Even though they're not the big name and many people don't really know about them, we still have basically replacements for every single category that needs to be filled.
Yeah.
Okay, I can agree with that.
I mean, yeah, how do I put this? Like, there are 8 slots on the team. It doesn't mean there's only like 8. Okay, so 4 people go in for a map. It doesn't, because like sometimes like you're deciding the lineup for a map, and the last slot is between you and one other person, and you both maybe average 600k. Like, so then let's say it was between you and me, and then I went in over you, and then I just bomb and get 300k, and then you were playing it alongside on the bench and you got like 900k and you popped up. That sort of thing is like you didn't even go in, but you could have actually helped us even more. Like let's say we still won the map even with my score, and like let's say my 300k wasn't even bottom score, it was like average of the lobby. But then that's the sort of thing where like you can still be competitive, or like how do I word this? You can still be as competitive as the people who went in for that map, even if you weren't on the team at all. That sort of thing. Maybe that didn't make sense.
So basically what I'm getting at from this is that we have big names who are super famous based off of their performance, their history, their stuff like that, right? But when it comes to actually like filling those roles, we still have plenty of people who can still do that, right?
You don't need to have an established name for yourself to set a good score. I think that's the bottom line.
Yes, because I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really aware of Fancy Lad until like recently.
We played together.
Yeah, basically. I mean, I knew him as like the streamer guy who plays mouse. That was about it.
Yeah, like that's the thing though, because it's like, so some people might, I mean, maybe not so much recently that you've been playing in more tournaments, but like once you first started playing in like a lot more tournaments, especially with us, it was sort of the thing with like BeasttrollMC. Well, what's he gonna do on hidden, right? And then it's just like, oh, top score.
Pretty big.
Yeah.
I feel like this year is going to be the year that either USA dies completely or many new names get thrown into the spotlight. I feel like that's going to be my opinion, and I hope it's going to be the latter.
USA, top 6, top 4, 99.9%. Top 3, top 3, which like you make it to the end of losers bracket. Probably like just getting there, probably 90%, 95%, 90 to 95. And top 2 is probably like 75 to 85%. And then top 1.
That's going to be tough. I mean,
it's
even
hard to say.
Yeah, I mean, with so much stuff changing, with White Cat coming into the mix, with so many of our players coming out, it's really hard to say at this point. So like, we've seen in the past that USA has won. What is it, like twice in a row, 3 times in a row now? I forgot.
Four of the last 5 years.
4 of the last 5 years. That's crazy. So
like,
people,
we've been ever since Scorby 2 has been in OWC. We've been in grand finals.
So USA is pretty fucking strong, at least in the past. But the thing is, all those people who have been in the team for those years have been stealing the spotlight. Meanwhile, in the backgrounds, in the shadows, there's been like this training ground of all these other newcomers who are trying to take those spots, trying desperately to take even one of those spots. That one spot was taken by AirU last year, right? That's not being replaced. But now this year's when the training grounds finally get released, people are going to graduate, and now we're seeing the newcomers. The next generation is coming to OWC for Team USA. All right, this is season 2. Boruto. All right, any fans out there? I haven't watched it myself. I'm still on Shippuden. All right, this is the next season, dude. All right, and whether or not this season sucks ass is based off of, well, we'll see.
Based on how many people decide to just play again at the last second. But yeah, that's the thing. That's like, there's like replacement players that can score just as well, even if they're not on the, or they haven't been on the team ever. Oh yeah, Arison is another good one.
Oh, Max, why? He has so much potential, but he just doesn't have faith in himself, dude. He's always like, oh, I'm not consistent.
I actually kept saying last year, like, I'm gonna lose my spot to Gaze.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, okay, correct, yeah.
Damn.
And then he played anyway.
I mean, he didn't play last year because he didn't want to, right? He played? Well, like,
actually,
he played in the tryouts, didn't he? He played in the trials, but like...
Yeah, actually wasn't on the team, yeah.
Yeah, but like... I thought, like... Was he given an offer on the spot? Like, an offer to play?
Gaze?
Yeah.
Oh, did Gaze try out?
Yeah, Gaze... Arison tried out.
Yeah.
But like, was he offered a spot on the team? Do you know?
What we did last year, I think we were too, like with so many options, I think we were too, like, unsure of, like, what might happen if we put someone, like, who was it, Informus in 2018 that did really well in tryouts, that had, like, very few tournament showings at all. It, like, didn't feel safe to put someone like that on the team when we had more established, like, we had more established names already. I think it didn't feel comfortable.
Yeah, I heard one of the problems with Informus is that he wasn't really, like, even though he was like a god, he didn't have, like, I guess the motivation at the time. I heard a rumor like that going around.
thing. He didn't like playing tournaments. I think he said that like if playing tournaments is what you have to do to get on the OWC team, like he's never gonna get on the OWC team. I think he said that on Reddit or something.
Shit.
Informus.
Genetics.
True.
I saw Icky in the chat earlier. What's poppin', dude? Oh. Yeah, Icky says USA won't die. There's a secret not unleashed yet. That secret is me. I'm just kidding. I don't even know.
Nick said Gaze did tryouts last year, performed better than Apraxia on paper, but Apraxia was better because of tournament consistency and synergy with the team. Yeah, I think synergy with the team is a big one, and like, I think some people might disagree on like using synergy with the team.
The
as,
nation.
But like using synergy with like the players that are already on the team as like a deciding factor for the last slots. Some people might disagree and say that it's not really fair, but then it's like, I think it's a safer option.
Well, like, here's the thing, all right? Nobody wants to be on a team. Well, nobody wants to be on the team and have that one guy that's just in the corner who's just like...
Muted.
Huh?
Muted.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's like trying to work together and the other guy is just like...
Actually, I always stayed muted.
Well, Vaxa had his own like personality and like text and stuff, right? He was cool.
He's always muted during matches, but he had his own personality.
Yeah, exactly, right? He was still like part of the mix. So like when you bring like a foreign dude, this actually goes deeper. All right, this is part of the real world as well. When you're making connections, all right, and when you're trying to move up in life, all right, connections is huge, dude. All right. No, it's not about what you know, all right? It's who you know, all right? So when you have connections with all the OWC guys, when you're like talking with all the dudes, when you're part of the boys, bro, that gets you in.
Actually, kind of true. It's about like having experience with the players that are already on, I think is the thing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Because like, you can come on in tryouts as like a nobody. Not really nobody, but like, well, maybe nobody. Maybe like no one has even heard of you. You just don't engage with the community, but you decided to play tryouts and you just like wrecked. And maybe not wrecked, but like you did very well, like to the point where we would consider you. But it's like you can't feel comfortable putting someone on the team if they have no credentials of like tournament showings or anything.
Yep.
Do you think Shige will be back at OSU? Maybe.
I personally think Shige is gone. I think he's ready to move on, dude. I don't really talk to the guy often, but like I just get vibes that he's just ready to move on. He's made his mark. He's ready to just watch anime. I mean, let's be real, dude. Put yourself in Shige's position, all right? He knows he was basically like the undisputed god of Osu for like 7 fucking years or some shit, right? If he were to come back, all he's going to get faced with is just shit. Like, oh, White Cat's here. Take on White Cat. Beat his scores. I want you to compete. Farm PP. Hand injuries. Dude, who wants to put themselves through that shit?
I don't know. Cookie has always been able to like just get past that and like, I don't know, sort of please enjoy game. Like his last few play sessions, I think before he's taken this break, it's just kind of casual. I don't know. Like I think he just enjoys the game.
I guess so.
Like,
yeah, that's what.
It's actually not too hard to ignore the community, even if you stream. Like, okay, streaming for him is a lot different from like streaming for you.
Yeah.
Because like he's just gaming, you know. He types to his chat, but then it's like if you really want to like just ignore, you can just like turn the stream on. And like literally just click start stream and then just do whatever your normal session.
Yeah.
A lot of like dialogue that we would get from him is like his conversations in the game with people that he's talking to. You know what I mean? Like sometimes he wouldn't even type to his Twitch chat. He would just type to the one person in OCDMs, and that would just sort of be like how he indirectly communicates with all of us.
And also in his hand cam when he takes the plushie and just moves it around. Oh yeah, but
good times.
I feel like that point treads into the realm of like, oh, if you don't want, if you're getting shit, or like if you see shit that you don't like, just don't look at it. Which on paper works, right?
True.
I'll tell you something about every single person. You can tell that to every single person in this fucking world, and it is the best advice. But everyone, I feel like, always has this thing in the back of their mind or their heart where they do care, you know. I mean, I'd like to say that when people say that I'm shit at the game or that I'll never destroy White Cat, that I don't care, that I will destroy White Cat. But I will say, in the back of my mind, dude, it's always there. It does hurt. You can never really. I feel like if you were to completely erase that from your fucking mind, then like you just become less human. Yeah, you just become a robot. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just part of being human, of being affected by criticism, because criticism hurts a lot more than praise. You know. Well, I guess
true, but it's about channeling it in the right sort of way. Like,
yeah.
You could channel it towards negative thoughts, or you could basically just use it to motivate yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'll tell you something right now. Getting praise from specific people, all right, when you look up to them, that's awesome.
Oh, that's true.
That's awesome. I'm not saying that I don't care about your praise, boys, but shit.
Dude, look at this.
Is that,
Holy crap.
is that
I mean,
pencil?
I used it to draw my desk, and then I just like the little diagram.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I can't remember the last time I picked up a pencil. I've only used pens. Pens.
I took my
Insane.
pen off my desk, but it's like somewhere else in my room.
So,
Do
yeah.
the rubber pencil thing. I'm not that good at it. I used to be better. I haven't even
Wait,
done it
are
in so
you
long.
talking about where it's like,
Yeah.
now it looks like it's bending or some shit?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Okay,
pretty awesome.
I think. Question. One more little topic.
Sure, go ahead. Does anyone have any questions that we can talk about? We're chilling. I have an off-topic
Actually, chill.
question. It's about emotes and Twitch.
There you go.
Huh?
What's your question?
All right, so basically, all right, dude, when I walk into a Twitch chat, all right, when I go into a live stream, all right, and I don't see Pog enabled, it literally makes me want to just click the X button immediately, dude. All right, I feel like Twitch as a meta has like, I'm not okay. So this is the point of contention, because like this is my point of view. All right, my perspective is if Pog is not enabled, I'm gone. All right. So like now I see all these other newer streamers who are getting into Twitch and they're becoming part of the Twitch community, right? I'm trying, like, it's like, yo, dude, what's going on, right? We need to bring them up to speed and stuff, right? Like, how do you view a Twitch channel? What is your experience? I feel like I need to be brought back to reality because I feel like I live in Twitch, right?
So like when I'm browsing new channels.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, it's one of the main reasons why it's like I like supporting smaller streamers, but when they don't have Pog enabled, it's just how am I supposed to support them when I can't even express myself? Shit.
I don't know. I think like sometimes I go through like just chatting streams,
Oh yeah.
and it's something that kind of turns me away from them is when they're playing music that's like either like music that doesn't suit my taste, or like it's even louder than, like, I don't know, usually pop music I feel like doesn't even work well in just chatting streams.
It really doesn't, dude. I mean,
It doesn't. But, like a lot of just chatting streamers use pop music.
yeah. Well, that's because, all right, so here's the difference. All right, this is, you can get into like the whole sort of Twitch meta, I guess, right? But it's a difference between, it's a balance that you're trying to maintain between enjoying yourself and making the experience better for others. You know, when it comes to pop music, that's what you enjoy listening to, that's what you want, right? But understand that there's a lot of people who prefer like other music. The reason why I specifically use lo-fi is not because I love lo-fi and I listen to this shit all the time. It's because it's the most neutral ground that everyone doesn't have a problem with it. There's no one in this world who hates lo-fi. If you do, get out.
But I guess on the other hand, you could say that if you just do you on your stream, the people that get driven away by that shouldn't be in your fan base in the first place.
I guess.
Like, if you want to fake yourself to have a bigger fan base, I mean, you can only go so far until you just stop enjoying it completely, because you've gotten to a point where your fan base has developed over a version of you that is not really you.
I
sort of
mean,
thing.
I feel like hiding that is a bad idea. I don't hide the fact that like I enjoy rap music and pop music. I mean, I'm pretty expressive about that, but I use this type of music on my stream specifically because it's more welcoming to the general population, you know?
Yeah,
I don't hide the fact that I don't really like having anime all over my overlays and stuff.
Well,
but like, yeah.
I think for Twitch environments, for me, it's more about like the vibe, because every Twitch stream has a vibe, you know? And
Yeah.
it's more about like that sort of vibe of the stream than, I don't know, whatever. I don't know. I don't use. Well, I don't know. I usually tend to not participate in chat that much, so I think emotes being off doesn't bother me as much as it might bother you. Maybe that's why. Like, I just chill. I like watching streams to like chill and sometimes chat with the streamer, but yeah.
All right, so this is the big difference, because I'll tell you something right now. When I'm watching a stream, if the chat is boring, I can't stay, dude. All right, it's hard. Well, obviously, like, the streamer themselves is like, yeah, I stay for the streamer and stuff. But when you're just watching a stream, a big part, in my opinion, of the experience is the chat, right? This is why I hate having a dead chat, because sometimes when I'm just like chilling and just doing my own thing, the chat can also back me up and be interesting. Whether it's them playing ping pong while we're talking about just chatting, because apparently what we're talking about isn't too interesting, or if we're just like, you know, chilling and just like they're just having a good time, you know? I feel like chat is like a huge part of the experience when it comes to a live stream, and that's why like having a good chat is awesome. I do agree, but I don't know, there's some people that really enjoy like being a part of like a copy pasta like scene. But then there's people who enjoy like just having like maybe like a 5-viewer stream where they're all engaging, that sort of thing. They're all engaging with the streamer, and it's just a good time. Oh yeah, definitely. It reminds me of the good old days. But okay, I think it's time. I think this is a good place to wrap up then. I know there were questions that I wanted to get to. But go ahead. We can fire them off real quick. No deep dives. Let's go. I have stuff to do. Today's gonna be a long day. Oh my god. Oh yeah, it's already been an hour. The ACDI is coming, right? Are you watching the Kanye Cup draft? What? Are you watching it? Sure. When is it again? At 5. Oh, okay, that's 4 hours from now. Never mind. Oh, fuck! Uh-oh. No, I have something at 5:30. All right. I got in contact with my my community manager, my partnership manager. So like, I'm having a discussion with him very soon. Your boy's in trouble, boys. Things are changing. All right, thanks for hanging out again. If you wanted me to get to your question, leave a comment on the YouTube video. If you're watching from YouTube, comment. Yeah, this will be on YouTube soon. Hell yeah, dude. Yo, thanks for watching, bros. Right. Have a good one, dude. Smash that like button if you enjoyed it. All right, we can check out the socials down below if you're interested. We're good. Peace out. All right, see you all. Holy shit. Alright, that was good. Okay, alright, bros. Hold on, wait a second. I have DMs from Will Stetson. Yeah, okay, so Will Stetson is asking me about what's called YouTube networks. Yeah, I was with them a while back, but I left after I realized they were taking like 40% of my ad rev, so I was like, peace out. So yeah, I mean, if you value your well, they offered like connections and exposure and stuff back when I had like 300 subs, and I was like, ooh, gimme. So I joined, and I didn't see anything but my 40 cents being taken out of my wallet. So I was sad and I left. We're talking about networks on YouTube. So yeah. Thanks for the good content. Thanks for watching, bros. Yo, bros, thank you so much for watching the podcast. I hope it was interesting. Yo, I would love to take some feedback now to see whether or not we actually did a good job. I feel like for the first topic, when it came to like tips and stuff, it was probably not as good because I feel like we didn't have like a dedicated topic. We kept rambling on into different things and various complexities, but I don't know. Hopefully it gave you like a sort of insight into it. I don't know, man. It's always a super chill podcast. I like it, man. Thanks, Chaos. But I'll tell you something right now. We do need, like, the entire point of this podcast, the reason why we go forward with it while it's scuffed is because we can make improvements on it.